Hey, you guys, I just wanted to tee up the video clip that I'm about to show you with Dr. Volpicelli. It's an interview clip with him where he talks about the risks of drinking without naltrexone if you're following the Sinclair method for alcohol use disorder. Dr. Volpicelli is literally the leading expert on naltrexone for alcohol use disorder. His name is on a lot of the studies that have been done on naltrexone, and he was largely involved with getting naltrexone approved for treatment of alcoholism by the FDA in 1994. So I hope that this clip is helpful for you.
One thing I wanted to talk about was this intermittent reward pattern and non-compliance using naltrexone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what can you tell us about that?
Well, so based on our Rescorla-Wagner model, if you take naltrexone right before you engage in the operant behavior, the instrumental behavior of drinking, and then you drink and you don't get the expected high that you would normally get, then that should produce lower levels of dopamine, and by the Rescorla-Wagner model should reduce the strength of the drinking behavior. So that's regular behavioral extinction. But then what happens, you ask the question, suppose someone now has been doing the Sinclair method for a period of time, so they take the naltrexone and they drink, but now they're not really expecting to get much of a buzz, right? So they get an unexpected reward from drinking. What's that going to do to the drinking behavior?
Usually it goes off the rails.
It goes off the end. The Rescorla-Wagner model would say you're expecting a 0 and you get an unexpected plus. That's going to be like the very first time you drank.
Right.
It should go off the rails. That's what the model would predict. I don't know. What are the data?
The data supports what the model predicts. I don't think there's anybody that goes non-compliant that comes back and has a good tale to tell. They're usually a tale of learning is really what it ends up being. We tell folks that probably the most important rule of all is compliance with the medication. That being said, almost everybody seems to experiment. And when they do, it usually is not fun. So usually it's a one and done. Some people do more than that, and some people never do it. But
yeah, and so then I see this come up like sort of every time we meet, where people say, should I do naltrexone every day, or should I just do it in a targeted way? And there's advantages and disadvantages of each approach. But if you do it every day, then you're not going to have the issue of not using naltrexone before you go out drinking because you've done it every day. And this can happen, that I have patients who want to test the model to see if it works. So when I say, if you drink alcohol and you're on naltrexone, you're not going to get a buzz. And like in the original study that I did, I found that the naltrexone wasn't particularly effective in getting people not to have the first drink, because a lot of people said, I really don't believe that. And so they would go out and test it. Because they were taking naltrexone every day, they didn't get the high. And so instead of having an episode where they would have 5 drinks or 10 drinks, they would have 1 or 2 drinks and stop. If you do the Sinclair method and you don't take the naltrexone and then you go out and drink, the alcohol should be really rewarding. So that slip won't be just 2 or 3. That slip is going to be 10. So that would be one advantage of doing it, taking the naltrexone on a daily basis. On the other hand, if you want to get really pretty extinction, the Sinclair method is better. You explicitly pair the response with the lack of reward. Okay. And so that feeds back on the response to really weaken that response. So that might be an example where the targeted approach is better. So again, it could go either way, and the model predicts various outcomes depending on how we interpret it.
So that's in really particularly stubborn cases that logic then carries over to why a person would maybe, for example, take the Vivitrol shot and then use targeted naltrexone when they're actually drinking. So a
Yes.
combination of the two for a
There you
really
go.
pernicious AUD.
Yes. Yes. Good point. Yep.
Thank you for watching, guys. As always, if you want private, personalized, daily support for your Sinclair Method journey, definitely check out the program that we have at Thrive. You can access information by clicking the link below or visit thrivealcoholrecovery.com.